What's going on, everyone? Ancap24 here, back with another play out of the Gun Wide Trips week. Formation out of the Seattle Seahawks playbook. Today we're going to be looking at this play called Strong Flood. And Strong Flood's a play in which I like to use most often against blitzers. And it has to do with this route on the left side of the screen when it comes to the X receiver. Now, I want to show you this route and why I like it so much. It's because it's in between what you would find from a drag and a slant. It's an inside release short cross. Now, the reason why I like this is because of the elevation. Really gives you a nice opportunity to throw this where you're not throwing it into a safety who can hit stick you, or have a enforcer there. It doesn't gain elevation as it goes across the field as much. I want you to look at where the hash mark is on the right hand side. It crosses the hash mark right about the 35, maybe just underneath the 35-yard line. If I was to do a slant, that goes into about the 31. See the difference in elevation between the two? And obviously with the drag, it goes even shorter, which basically muddies up the throw, and you don't get a whole lot of it because it's so near the line of scrimmage. It's hard to throw, and just the way the game is this year, it's hard to turn up the field. So this route is the perfect blend of both, okay? So what I'm going to show you is how I like to use it against your cover 4 blitzes, okay? So we got cover 4 blitz. I'm going to go ahead and move this guy in. It really doesn't matter about the blitz. I'll go ahead and show it to you just so you can see it. But something like this, right? Cover 4, typically speaking, this guy's going to be down here. You can move this guy down here. Doesn't matter. The first thing I want to point out is that typically speaking, the user, if you was to cover one of these guys, would user this guy right here just because of the fact that the 3 receivers are going to be on the right-hand side. He can absolutely user this guy, but his first thoughts are always to go to the right because it's the wide side of the field, 1, and 2, it's because it has the ability to basically have more threats over there, right? So what we're going to do here is look at the X receiver. The X is going to have that inside release, and you're going to want to throw it to him right off the break. And you can see us here, as soon as he breaks, you throw them right there. And now you're going to have some easy ability to get up the field if you want to, okay? And I say if you want to. I typically err on the side of caution. And what I mean by that is I'm throwing a low ball bullet pass. I'm catching it and getting it down. I am so content getting 6 or 7 yards and making sure that the user has to worry about that so I can get other things open later, right? So if I'm doing something like this, where I'm going to throw a low ball right there, catch this ball, and get myself 6 or 7 yards. Whether it's a dive possession catch, whether it's a catch and roll, whatever the case may be, this route gives you the opportunity to get that 6 or 7 yards and protect yourself, okay? Now, this route also works against your types of like DB sting, right? Where it's a soft squat. So let's try this out here. I'm going to move this guy in. Make sure you see this. Okay, so now we got all these guys in. Now, the difference between this is that you're going to see that you're going to have a soft squat match the outside player. And what I mean by that is because he's a solo receiver, he's going to play him as if it's man-to-man after he realizes that he is the only player in his zone. So I do suggest having a big-bodied receiver, somebody that can, kind of box out, and you're going to have good success with it. If you have a smaller guy, or if you're not meeting that guy because there's a great cornerback over there, I'll show you a workaround, okay? So what I'm going to do here is throw it right off the break, throw this ball, catch it, get down, get myself an easy 7 to 10 yards, right? So you can see that the guy went ahead and matched him, but I want to make sure you see that you're still going to have the ability because he's inside leverage because of the ability with the release. He is matching them, but you still got that ability to catch it and get down, right? So that's really what I'm looking for there. Now, if you're having any issues with soft squats, what you can do here is make sure that you take the tight end, move him over, and put him on a block or release flat. What that will do is it holds the soft squat because it reads that there's a second threat. But what it also does, it gives you an opportunity to basically get more blockers and just give you enough time to throw this ball, right? So something like this. So you keep the blockers, the guy's not going to match anymore, and what you're going to see is that you're still going to be able to throw this ball right here, catch the ball, and a lot of times get your extra yards. So I wanted to point out just that route to start off the video because that route to me is kind of a get out of jail free card. If I thought I was setting something up for like a normal cover 2 beater, they come with heat, I'm able to hit that guy right away, okay? Now, let's talk about just normal coverages, okay? Let me just go into like nickel normal or 245, whatever is on, yeah, so 245, okay? So let's talk about normal coverages and different setups that we can do to, you know, if they're not blitzing, okay? So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna set it up to where we're going to take the tight end, if we're going against cover 2, I wanna make sure you see a cover 2 look, you want to take the tight end and move him to the left. And the reason why is watch what happens to the slot receiver. He moves to the left as well. We talk about grid systems all the time, and the grid system here is if I move the RB to the left a little bit, it's going to help not have the cloud take him, because you can see how deep of a streak or a vertical stem that this RB has before it cuts over. So when we put this B on a smoke screen, that guy's going to jump the B. So this is typically what I'm going to run. I'll either put the A on a streak or a delay fade, depending on if I feel like I need pressure. And let's watch what happens to this side on the right-hand side. Okay, what I can do, the B comes there, he's coming down. Now I'm throwing this to this RB and get my catch easily over there. That's from the pocket. If you want to make this throw even easier, just do a rollout, okay? But the fact that you can move this A over to get the RB out of the grid of the cornerback is really powerful. This time I'm going to put the A on a streak. What that's going to do is it's going to help move back the safety on the right-hand side because of the extra threat. You're going to wait, you're going to wait, you're going to wait, throw this ball over here, and now you got even more yards. So if you're really not looking at getting blitzed, what you can do is make sure that you put that extra vertical on the field to drive back coverage, and you're going to see that you're going to just have that much more. And I was even able to pass lead it up because 83 is not in the cloud flats basically grid. He's going to come down, play this, and you can see how open this is against cover 2. Now if somebody wants to sell out on that, what I mean by that is basically if a user, let's just say the user right here is going to want to run to the right hand side of the field, it's also something that's really nice for you because the fact that the X has a different ability to stay in the middle of the field and be another threat for you. So if they sell out and like, I gotta go cover that RB, just throw this ball underneath. They have to stay at home enough to make you respect it. If they go to the right and they say, you know what, I've already seen this in the game, I got to go to the right to cover that, then that player is going to be open for you. Now, against a cover 3 look, what I want to see is if you're seeing a lot of cover 3, if you put the A on a streak and then put the B on it's there and you don't motion him over, it's going to help because what you're trying to do with that A is you're trying to get him to back up the cover 3 player on the right-hand side, the corner, and that's going to open up. See, the B, you could throw it early, but if you wait just a little bit longer, now you're throwing it to him easily, right? If somebody's doing a lot of cover 3 protect the sticks, what you'll see here is that you're going to have a couple options, right? So here's protect the sticks, A on a streak, block the running back, B. With protect the sticks, the guy above the RB is going to go to the 10-yard mark, right? So the 10-yard mark in this regard would be around the 33-yard line. You can see how our guy's still going to be behind him. It's going to be a little bit less, but if you see this and the guy's way there, hit this guy up the field, you're going to get yourself an easy 4 or 5 yards. If it's somebody that's got some good moves, then you're going to have a little bit more ease with it. But let me show you here against cover 3, protect the sticks, and what it looks like if you're going to try to throw the out pattern. I want to make sure you see everything when we do a video so you can kind of see it yourself. So here it is. You can see the A going up the field, protect the sticks. This guy's going over here. You can see how you can still throw it over there. It just depends on the safety that you're going at. There is still going to be a spot for you to kind of work that in. So I want to make sure you know that it's there. The more you can move to the right and shorten your throw, the easier it's going to be for you. Lastly, let's see if I can find a cover 4 here for you. Here's cover 4 drop. Perfect. So we can do cover 4 drop, show you how this is going to work. Same deal, A on the streak. And what we're going to do is see that the B is open right away if we want to throw it to him. And then you can see that you can still throw this ball above that guy and catch it, okay? With cover 4 drops, most of the time with a cover 4 drop, you're going to find that the player over there is going to be a linebacker, okay? if it's 3-4, even with this 3-3-5 odd, it's a linebacker. Typically, it's going to be unless you're in, say a dime 1-4-6. But a lot of times that's the way it looks, and you're going to be able to beat that guy a lot easier just because of the formations that you're going against. So I want to make sure that you saw how this setup really does a good job for you to not only beat most of your coverages, but it also gives you the ability to really have a hot route when it comes to blitzes, and that's why I use it so much. So just want to make sure that I brought you, a lot of these videos are going to be, great chunk yards, but then some of them are just, plays in which you need in your arsenal for situations so that you can get people out of blitzing so you can open up the field. And this is one of them. This route does it for me. It does a great job of making sure that I have that in my arsenal, and I wanted to make sure I brought it to you guys. So I appreciate it. Go ahead and hit that like button if you got something out of this video, and hit that subscribe if you haven't already as we continue this series. Now, if you like this video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and make sure you check out these videos below for the most helpful Madden tips. If you're looking to learn from the best players in the world, head over to www.playbook.gg for the most detailed game plans in Madden.